winding into spring break, let's take a look at the bell work. Again, parents were emailed on Friday. Retest sign up is today. You have from Friday to Sunday to test. If you miss it, either one, it will be too late. Okay? So make sure you do that. This one right here, you have to get it equal to 0 first. So draw a line, put equals 0. Now, you want to move the 3x squared, which is a negative, but it's going to change to a positive. So put plus 3k squared, rather. That gives you 4k squared. You want to move the 2k, which is a minus, over to here, and that becomes a plus 2k. That zeroes out. Then you want to move the negative 6, which becomes a plus 6, and that looks like 25. A negative 25 equals 0. Okay, so once you get to this point, you've got to identify. So it's ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So the a is in front of the x squared, so the a is 4. There is no x. There's an x squared or a k squared, but there is no k, so 0 is your b, and c is negative 25. So you plug it in and you work it out. We're going to make it a little smaller so I can do some work here, okay? So what we're going to have here is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all divided by 2 times a. So negative b squared, 4 times a times c, all divided by 2 times a. So this is 0, this is 0, this is a double negative, that becomes a plus. This is 16 times 25. And if you think about it, look here, 16 times 25 is actually going to be a perfect square. The square root of 16 is 4. The square root of 25 is 5. 5 times 4 is 20, so it's going to be a plus or minus 20 divided by 8. And you can reduce that. 2 goes into this 10, 2 goes into this 4, 2 goes into this 5, 2 goes into 4, 2. So it's going to be a plus 5 over 2 and a minus 5 over 2. Those are the two answers right there. Those are your x-intercepts. Today we're doing the back side of worksheet A, and if you were absent, it should be on Canvas. Here's the front side from yesterday. Make sure you show work. Okay? And on the back side, which is today, looks like this. I increased the font size so if you have trouble reading it, it's a little bigger. Let's turn our attention now to 7th period. Okay, so on 7th period, let's take a look at these. Now remember the process. The process is pick 2 and make something cancel. So I'm looking and I'm trying to see what will cancel. Can't see anything. So let me think what will work. Okay, so I'm going to multiply this equation and I'm going to use these two. And I'm going to multiply this equation by negative 2. Because if I had a negative 2, these would cancel. So up here, it's going to give me a positive, right? 2 negatives. A positive 6x minus 2y minus 10z. And then negative 2 to this one is a positive 10. And then this one stays the same. So you draw your line, this cancels. So this gives you 2x minus 9z equals 23. Okay, we want to save this equation. And notice we got rid of the y. So now we want to use this top equation, since we didn't use it, with one of the bottom equations. And I'm going to go ahead and use these two right here. So I'm going to multiply this second equation by negative 3, and that's going to get rid of that y right there. So we're going to do a negative 3 through the second equation. So the top one stays the same. So we're just going to rewrite that. Okay? But this one is going to become a positive 9x. This one's going to be a negative 3y. This one is going to be a negative 15z. And then this last one is going to be a positive 15. We're going to add these up, and we're going to get 4x. The y's cancel. This gives us 8, I think it is, or 7, let me think, or 9. That's going to be a negative 9z. And then this is going to be 19. Okay? So we have our two equations right here. Just double check. 4, that cancels. 9, negative 9, negative 19. Okay, now, we have our two equations. What we want to do now is make something cancel. If you look, these are the same. So if I change the signs right here, it will cancel. So I'm going to change this to a plus, and change that to a minus. And when I do that, this cancels. So I get 2x when I add this up. And this gives me a negative 4. And then I divide by 2, and I get x equals a negative 2. And we check it. There it is right here. X equals a negative 2. Now, you pick an equation. Since this one I didn't touch, I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to say 4x minus 9z is equal to 19. I'm going to put a negative 2 and get a negative 8. I'm going to move this over here, and I get 27. That becomes a plus 8. And so I divide, and I get z is equal to a negative 3. X, y, and z. So I got both of those. Now, to get the last one here, which is y, you can pick any of 3 original equations. Since I didn't touch anything, I would use that one. So I would substitute the x, substitute the z, and solve the equation for y. And that's all you do. Today we're doing page 452, 7 through 18. I will walk around and spot check to make sure you're working. Hope everything's good. Make sure you sign up for that retest if you did not. Today is the last day, and Sunday is the last day to test. If you come to me after either of those times, it's too late. Have a good morning.